it's so good to have you. Today's video I'm going to be talking about my goals for 2023. So I've just opened this page here for you to have something to look at. I have quite a few goals and I'm not sure how many of them I will get to achieving in this year, but it's always good to have some goals to work towards, some ambitions and a purpose behind my coloring, something that I can achieve and aspire to. So firstly, one of the things that I would like to work more on is more fur, hair and skin. So here I've done a portrait in Christine Caron's Fairy and Fantasy Volume 2, and over here on this side I am working on another fairy and I'm still developing the skin tone, and this is going to be an upcoming color along on the channel. I'm currently in the process of coloring it. So I want to experiment with fur, hair, skin. I want to get more expertise in doing hair and doing fur realistically. I want to play with the different color combos, which is again another one of my goals. So number 2 on my goals is to try different color combos. So that would be like different color hair, lavender hair or blue hair, pink hair. Now I've only done 2 non-realistic hair, both of which are in Hannah Carlson's Magical Dawn. One of them was this blue hair, which I did with Castle Arts Originals, and that was back in 2020, I think. No, 2021. It was back in 2021. And then I have another picture here where I did very different hair. Again, this was in 2021. So it's been a year since I've experimented with different hairstyles and hair colors. So I'd like to work more towards that. Typically I tend to stick towards brown hair or blonde hair. I'm still getting the hang of black hair, which here in one of my whips in Mysteria by Anastasia Eli Caldereva, you can see I'm trying to work on black hair. So I really want to branch into different colored hair. I want to continue to work more on this sort of realistic hair where you even have the flyaway hairs. I am planning to release the tutorial for this page as a color along series up on the channel. I also want to play with different skin tones. I want to learn how to do Asian skin tones, Mediterranean, so just playing with the different undertones and the hues within the Caucasian skin tone. I want to learn more about dark skin tone and how to perfect that. Then as far as fur goes, so basically when I say fur, I'm also referring to birds and animals, so it's fur and feathers. I haven't got a lot of experience with animals, so I want to continue working towards that and getting more comfortable in coloring these sort of creatures. So as you can see here in this page is a beautiful example of how of a crow. So my challenge to myself is, how do I create a black crow which still has those purple hues, those deep blue hues, without it looking unrealistic and too flat. I don't want it to look 2D. So those are some of the challenges I've got. As far as animals goes, I've got a few pages I'd like to try. So in the Game of Thrones book, we have this page here with a wolf, and then the other Game of Thrones book I've got also has a wolf in it. So that would be a great one to practice fur on. Here I've got so many. Here's another example of skin I would like to do. This is an older man with a bald head, so to be able to color in and shade those contours of his flesh and his plumpness would be something I haven't really experienced yet. Normally I color in female portraits and they're quite slender, and you know, you just have to worry about the cheekbones and the nose and the lips, whereas on this guy here I'd have to worry about the contours of his bald head, his chin here where he's got saggy skin and all of that. So it is something that I would like to do more of. I'm sure, see, here's another wolf. I'd like to create this quite well. They're good size, and this one would be probably a white wolf. And coloring white fur is you have to use a lot of grays and shadows, and you really need to build up those dark shadows to contrast the white highlights of the white fur. Then I've got another one in Fragile World's another great one as far as animals go. Just move these out of the way. So we've got these sort of dogs. Of course, we have the snow leopard and the red panda as examples. And I'm already busy planning out the red panda page for us. So even here you've got the koala and the orangutan. So Fragile World has a lot of pages with animals in that I can practice fur, practice feathers, and then the other thing I'd like to practice more on is food. Some examples of food are in Kanoke Gusa books. This one is Rhapsody in the, sorry, not Rhapsody, Minuet Debonair. And here you've got all sorts of cakes and macaroons and cupcakes. So I'd really like to learn more about that. I think there's more. I mean, Kanoke Gusa books are also great for fur as well. They have got a lot of fur. Here's a whole lot of sweets, foods. So this is, yeah, another prime example of coloring both fur and food. And I would like to really work on that. See, here we've got this ice cream sundae, so with fruits and other delicious things. So and biscuits. I really don't know how to shade biscuits very well. Here we've got vegetables on this page here. And here we've got glassware with food, and it would be great to do both those. So yeah, Kanoke Gusa books are really, really great to experiment with food and fur. So I have goal 1 to work on fur, hair, skin, and food. Goal 2, I want to try different color combos. And then goal 3, I would also like to work on coloring in Kirby Rosanna's Fragile World, Layla Dooley's The Flower Year, at least one mythographic book, either Paradise, Magical Earth, or Voyage. And I would like to complete one whip every month, so I can knock down my really, really big collection of whips. I think I've got it down to about 50-ish or so whips left out of 80 odd. It's very tricky because sometimes you get bored of just coloring in whips, and then you want to have new coloring books to color in and all of that. But you know, I still want to get a whole lot of those whips down. So some of the whips I've got here in Magical Dawn include this beautiful page here. I've got some like this one I need to really finish up. Small this side, this crown for instance. So I've got quite a bit here that I need to really work on finishing and completing, because it would really add a lot more pages to my would add a lot more pages, and then I would be able to really flip through and enjoy what I've colored. So it's just, I also want to work more on different types of mediums. I don't want to just be using colored pencils. I want to combine my other goals, like using water-based mediums more as a background and as a base. So there I really want to work more with Inktense pencils. And I found in Lithographic Paradise, I really enjoyed using Inktense pencils as a background, but I want to go even beyond that in 2023. I really want to work more on coloring with Inktense pencils and using Prismacolors or other pencils to just create those fine details. So I really want to push myself with water-based mediums. Here where I was doing the background in watercolor pencils, or even this swan page where I use watercolors for most of the background, I really want to learn how to blend and deepen the watercolors effectively, so it creates a very smooth and seamless transition from the dark shadows to the highlighted areas. And I'm not actually really comfortable with watercolors, especially watercolor paints. So I want to learn more about that, so I can, one, speed up my colorings, two, grow my knowledge, and three, just explore beyond my comfort zones. So I would like to use Inktense pencils predominantly in as many books as I can. I know that Mythographic Paradise and Hannah Carlson books work really well with Neocolor 2s and also watercolor paints and the Inktense pencils. And Fragile World also works really well with Inktense pencils. So I really want to combine some of my goals by, you know, going in and using Inktense pencils as a base in Mythographic Paradise, Fragile World for instance, and then work with different color combos and yeah, grow myself. So, and I think that that's also going to knock off another goal I have, which is to see how and how can I speed up my coloring without taking away quality. I don't want to create something that looks rushed. I want to still create quality pictures, but also speed my coloring. And then I also want to embrace more non-realistic pictures. So as you can see here, this girl, she's coming along really well. She's beautiful. She's looking really great. I want to push myself to creating more realistic portraits where I get the blend of the skin starting to look more photographic, but that's not a top priority for myself this year. I also want to embrace those pictures where it is more relaxing. For instance, coloring more in reptiloids, which is really just a really cute book with really lovely pictures on them. And no really room to be realistic. You can really go out and create some really lovely, and experiment with different combos and let your hair down. And I really would like to do that a bit more. Another example is here in Lacey Sunshine's Christmas with the Sunshine Tots coloring book. Again, images that I can I don't have to create realistically. I can create just casually and make beautiful pictures. So I want to embrace more of this year, even if that means I'm coloring winter pages and Christmas pages throughout the year, or hilarious reptiloids. I want to yeah, really work on that. 100 Hugs by Chris Riddle is another one I would put in here, although I think with his works I would probably be a little bit more leaning towards the realism. So that is my detailed list with examples of my goals for 2023. There may be even more to add on, but those are the ones that I can think of for now. Let me know in the comments, what are your goals? What do you want to see? What would you like to learn more about? Maybe we can do it together. I will be trying to use Inktense pencils, water paints, and Neocolor tools more in my color along videos and on my live streams. So if that interests you, do give me a thumbs up or comment below, so I know that you're with me. And then yeah, well, let's see what 2023 brings us, and we can look back at the end of the year and see how many of these goals we've actually ticked off and crossed out. So thank you, everyone. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.